Well, I have some stuff we want to talk about tonight, but I gotta hurry up and run over to the other place so that I can dig up some potatoes real quick. Let's go take care of that. All right, so what are we gonna talk about today? Well, we're gonna talk about our garden. Yeah, the garden. There's what I'm looking for. All right. What happened to the garden? Well, that's a really good question. I happened to the garden. So the garden, yeah, I pretty much failed at the garden. Not completely, but it's 100% my fault. I just didn't put the time into it that it requires. It's kind of like anything. You don't put the time, it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you exactly what we did do this year, what did work, what didn't work, and some potential solutions to some problems that we might have here. That beautiful tilled garden we had, that amazing tilled garden, well, this is what it turned into. So as you can see, it's just a bunch of grass now and weeds. I miserably failed. And there I see can't tell if that was a mole. So what did we get done? Not a whole lot. We planted the potatoes, which you saw. We didn't water them. I didn't really weed them. We've actually gotten a lot of potato harvest, surprisingly, which is pretty cool. But yeah, first time gardening, really. I'm ashamed to say that, but I could plant a big field or something. But this, definitely out of my experience range. But I did learn a lot. One, I learned, we didn't water this at all this year. And it was really surprising because with these wood chips, and we didn't, we live on sand here, so generally no watering something means no crop. We didn't water this once, and the potatoes did just fine. All right, well, I got more than enough for dinner. The whole point of this garden, and the whole reason we're doing it is because we'd love to start eating fully in season. Now in Minnesota, eating in season means you stock up enough in the fall to last you all the way through until really in July. Unless you're gonna use greenhouses or something, which we currently don't have. Which would be nice, but we don't have. Somebody just got home.
Daddy!
Hi, babies. How are you?
What were you recording?
Huh?
I didn't hear my phone bang with the message.
Oh, okay.
What were you recording? It's focused on my face right now.
Ringing. I was on 87.
It's on
I
my
thought I heard it ringing,
face.
so I picked it up.
Okay, I'll put my face near your face so
Well, we're gonna bring the potatoes in, and then I'm going to run to town to get some sparkling water. Sarah missed my text message. All right, well, that all took way longer than I was planning on it taking. So we're on another day, as you can tell. All right, so what went right? Well, one thing that was really great is we increased the water retention in the soil by a lot. The other thing that I was really just shocked about is the amount of worms and bugs that are in the soil after putting the wood chips down. It's night and day difference. You can go to where there's grass in that field and the soil is just dead. There's really nothing there. But you go under those wood chips and you're digging up worms with practically every single scoop. So that was really encouraging to see. So another thing that worked really well is where we put in a lot of wood chips, it kept the weeds back really, really well. And another benefit was where there were wood chips, it was also much easier when weeds did come up to pull them. All right, but what were the big mistakes? We had a bunch, but let's go over the big ones. One, we planted those potatoes before we put down the wood chips. And that made it a really big pain in the rear end to deal with. Because basically you didn't want to cover up what you had just planted with 8 inches or 6 inches of wood chips. So we ended up having little rows, and then we never really got those filled in properly. And so right in the row, there were tons of weeds, which is kind of what you want to not have happen. So that was a big mistake. Put down your wood chips first and then plant into the wood chips. I did plant some hot peppers. Those I just put some potting soil and I pulled away the wood chips a little bit, and then I put potting soil inside there and then planted in there, and that worked fine. Mistake number 2, we ended up getting infested with potato beetles. There aren't any potato farms around here for probably 5 miles. So where they came from, I am guessing they weren't already here. I am guessing that they came in on the starts. So what is the biggest mistake we had? Well, it's really simple. It was a lack of consistency and a lack of a system for how to do this. No schedule, no systems, so what that equaled was a complete and utter lack of consistent action. And without that, you can't succeed at anything, right? So that's the biggest takeaway from this. Next year, gonna have systems in place, and hopefully I can get Sarah involved. This year, you know, I give ourselves some leeway here. We had the baby, we had little August, and that took up, you know, that took up a lot of time, especially for Sarah. I mean, she's just 100% taking care of the baby, so she hasn't had a chance to get involved at all. And so really the best sort of knowledge I would have access to and the expert in our family on this was out of the picture. So next year, hopefully get her involved more, and then also put systems in place so that I can actually just follow schedule and know what I need to do and when I need to do it. Which brings me to my last point. The whole reason we're doing this is to try to eat in season. We want to have food that we know has not been treated with pesticides, that has not been treated with herbicides like glyphosate, and we would like to start eating completely in season locally. That means we have to produce enough food in the summer to last us through the winter. We have decided that we are going to try kind of a smattering of things. One of the things we're going to try is freeze-dried food. We're also going to can. Will we be 100% pantry/larder filled for the winter? No, we just don't have the resources right now to really probably do that. I definitely would like to stock up on as many things as we can, and I don't have any problem buying something in the winter that I could have made in the fall. What I mean by that is this. I don't mind buying freeze-dried food because we could have freeze-dried it right now. I don't mind buying frozen because we could have frozen it, you know, now and last us through the winter. The main thing I don't want to be doing this winter is buying fresh shipped in produce from literally 2,000 miles or 10,000 miles away. We don't want to do that. And so this winter is going to be a test to see how that'll actually work. Hopefully within the next couple of years, we can get to the point where we're producing basically all of our own food and producing it in season and figuring out a way to store it. So why the freeze-dried food? Well, we tried some when we were over at Big Family Homestead's house, and honestly, we couldn't tell the difference. We were eating it like, this is freeze-dried? And they're like, yeah, this is freeze-dried food. And it was like chicken, which I didn't know you could freeze-dry meat. I've just never looked into it, I guess, but I was really impressed with it. So we're gonna give it a try, but we're gonna be really honest about if we like it. Very, very honest about that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some blind tests, some taste tests, and it's gonna be like, you know, fresh, frozen, freeze dried, and we'll probably add some canned in there, which will, I think, be interesting. So we're gonna find out the quality, because the one thing I don't wanna do is buy things, and I doubt you would as well, that you don't like. So I think that's about it. Some of those videos will be coming up soon. We also have another video that's gonna be released real soon. We went on a trip, and we're gonna show you that. We went to one of our most favorite places in the United States. So I think that's about it. Well, I'm gonna channel Handyman. Peace. I didn't do that good enough. It's more like peace or something like. I don't know that he leans back like that.